Hello everyone and welcome back to Shonen Archive Gaiden. What's Shonen Archive Gaiden? Well, Shonen Archive is a series in which me and Zen watch every single Shonen Jump anime that is available to us in English, with our main series being Gintama, and having a bunch of side ones that we need to continue on or are currently waiting for new seasons, such as JJK, Chainsaw Man, Kuroko's Basketball, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And I created Shonen Archive Gaiden as a way for me to continue to talk about some of the more weird side things to Shonen Jump whenever Zen's not available. And Zen has not been available for this month due to some unforeseen circumstances and trying to get our scheduling together, which we are still trying to do. And currently, it is the Halloween season, so this also falls under 13 Nights of Halloween, and that's how I'm treating this video. Because today we're doing a Shonen Archive Gaiden on Chainsaw Man. That's right, Chainsaw Man has a movie out now, and I went to go see it. And of course, the movie I'm talking about is Chainsaw Man, The Chaos 4D, which is available now at Hollywood and Florida for Horror Nights. Universal. Only Hollywood? Is it not in... It's not in Florida? Never mind. You can only see it in Hollywood. No, my brother is correct. You can only see it in Hollywood. So if you're in Florida, unfortunately, you cannot see it. I thought you could, but apparently you cannot. It is a 4D film of Chainsaw Man coming over from Japan, which was released in 2024. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, I guess if you don't know what Horror Nights is a kind of yearly thing that Universal Studio does across its multiple places, where around Halloween time they bring out a bunch of different horror, sometimes original horror ideas and sometimes horror IP. Especially for Hollywood, we tend to get more of the IPs and they get more of the original storylines over in Florida. In Japan, they get some stuff too. And in Japan last year they got Chainsaw Man, which was the Chaos 4D. Apparently they also got it this year. You maybe have seen videos of it briefly when it first debuted, of shaky cams of it. They usually take stuff down, so I'm not going to be sharing any footage I may or may not have done for the event. But yeah, we went there. Well, we went there specifically just to enjoy Horror Nights because we're always a fan of it, and I just took it as a good bonus that Chainsaw Man was also there. So they were playing it at the Shrek Theater, where they typically played. It's Kung Fu Panda nowadays, and during Fan Fest, that's where they play the JJK movie. So yeah, they have Chainsaw Man: The Chaos, and they did not have. Before I get into the actual thing, actually, I can go into it now. So just to explain what happens in Chainsaw Man: The Chaos 4D, there is a really cool thing. It's like Smiley is like a horror icon of universe. It's like, I guess, in the Chainsaw Man universe, you're going to Universal Studios Japan, and Smiley has a new movie, and Smiley is like the icon of Universal Studios Japan. I guess assume in the Chainsaw Man world, and Denji, Power, Aki, and Kobeni are there to investigate it because they are getting reports there. It's like high devil activity, so they go to check it out. And so it's really cool because when you step in, Smiley is there, and Smiley is like, he's talking to you. The one thing that is, I guess, a little bit unfortunate, they translate as much as they can when you're actually watching the video, but obviously it's all in Japanese, and that includes a lot of the pre-show stuff of them talking. It was apparently too much for a couple who just like screamed out, like one dude, it wasn't the other girl, but the other girl was lame for not telling him to shut the fuck up. But he screamed out, "How come it's not in English?" And he walked out like some kind of pansy fucking baby who couldn't handle it. But anyway, Smiley talks about like, here's the fun times, we're Smiley, and it's like it's really cool. They're like kind of, what's the best way of saying, like kind of golden animation era. I want to. It's not as sick. It's not exactly Mickey. It's kind of Mickey Mouse era ish. I would say maybe. It's a little bit too colorful to be considered Mickey Mouse for me, but I guess it's kind of in the similar idea. They have like little things, maybe 70s, because they have like the cool panorama visions to make it look like an old movie theater type setup. So you go in there, you're gonna go see the new Smiley movie, and when they're showing the audience, you can see Denji and Power in the audience, and it's funny because they're selling a whole bunch of different gear, like the Smiley mask and the Smiley popcorn bucket, and later on when you see Power, she's actually eating out of the Smiley popcorn bucket. Apparently they sold those specific things in Japan. We did not get those over here. All we got was like a little Pochita keychain, I think, or a Pochito bag. I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, you go into the show. That's like the pre-show before you get in, and then after Smiley gives his like little introduction, the doors open and you go inside. Aki makes mention while you're getting ready to sit down, which is really cool actually, is that when you're sitting down and when you're getting ready to sit down, they're also kind of watching the movie with you, so they actually kind of sit down. And the Smiley movie kind of starts, and the Smiley movie gets interrupted by Smiley because it turns out that Smiley is actually a devil that is born out of the fear of Halloween Horror Nights. So he's gone crazy, powerful, out of control because he's been scaring people. I thought it was a really nice way of fitting the notion. I guess I never really thought about it, but the idea of having Halloween Horror Nights in the Chainsaw Man universe is maybe an extremely bold thing to do. I also don't think that, I think because, no, they would have been doing Horror Nights. It's a little bit weird because Chainsaw Man takes place in the 90s, and I don't remember if Universal Japan, when it opened. Let me, hold up. Real time look up. When the hell did Universal Studios Japan open? Were they even doing Horror Nights in 2024? There has to be like a no on that. I feel like they wouldn't be, but... let me see. Hollywood Horror Nights Japan. Yeah, Horror Nights in Japan started in 2012. And that is not when Universal Studios Japan started up. No, let me see. They started doing it around 2012. So let me see when the park itself opened, because this might actually be a weird... I didn't actually think about this until just now. It opened in 2001, and Chainsaw Man takes place around-ish the 90s. So it's also, it takes place in an alternate universe where Universal Studios Japan existed for an extremely long time, but okay. Anyway, they get ready to sit down. The show starts, like I said. Smiley reveals himself to be the main culprit behind everything. Everyone powers up and gets ready to fight them. Kobeni, which is really really funny. Kobeni doesn't really do much, but kind of like shriek. And then eventually she's the first one to get captured by the Smiley beam, which is like this green beam that holds people in place. Aki tries to summon forth the fox spirit, but he can't because of Smiley's power. And there's a lot of fighting currently going on. They eventually realize that his main weakness seems to be the ability to smile. He eats Denji, which is a big mistake, because this is their way of being able to transition Denji into Chainsaw Man, because everything is obviously in 3D. And it's very expensive to transform someone in 3D, so that's one way of hiding that. Also, the blood in here is like super colorful. It's like all... they kill a lot of the zombies that are also kind of featured with Smiley. And they are green blood, which it reminded me of when we were going to go sit down. I did see a lot of kids there to see Chainsaw Man. And I was thinking to myself, you really shouldn't be here to see Chainsaw Man, but at least there's no like physical blood. But if there was blood, there would have been blood all over the damn place. But anyway, he transforms. They think that they've beaten Smiley, only to reveal he has an even bigger form, and he's now escaped to the main part of the park. They continue to fight each other. Eventually, it all ends because Smiley says, "All right, bring it on, Chainsaw Man," and Chainsaw Man just dives headfirst into his mouth and does not last very long after that. There is a really cool part though before that happens where it's after he's eaten Denji, where Smiley says, "You have no hope now, and now I'm going to start messing with you," and he actually completely turns the theater dark and he starts like poking and prodding, and like because it's a 4D experience, you're moving it around. It was something very different from the JJK one, because a lot of the JJK one was people doing really cool moves and then like stuff popped up, but this one was actually playing with the fear of the dark and trying to be a little bit scary. And I really liked it because there were parts where he would say like, I can feel your heartbeat, and you would be able to feel the heartbeat through this TV seats as he was kind of messing with you, until finally it looked like he was getting ready to kill you, and that's when Denji saved the day in that part. I thought that was really cool. They take Hero's Smiley, they're able to beat him, they kill him, and they're able to save Universal Studios Japan. That's when Makima calls in. The one big difference between this one and the JJK one. JJK one ends with Gojo saving the day, and this one ends with with Gojo saving the day and then saying, "Hey, let's go celebrate Halloween Horror, not Halloween Horror Nights. Let's go experience the park." In this one, Makima calls up Aki after everything's been dealt with and says, "Hey, good job. Also, I'm in the park if you want to go hang out." Aki tells Denji, "Hey, she's in the park," and he's like, "Oh, cool, let's go." And they go off to enjoy the Halloween Horror Nights, or I guess just Universal Studios Japan, and that is how the chaos ends, with a happy ending as everyone kind of goes off. And yeah, that's the basics of the experience itself. I think it was very nice. I wish there was an easier way to access it. I don't think it would be coming back next year, only because I think they're going to want to be doing... In Japan, they're going to be doing a 4D experience for Demon Slayer. And I feel like a lot of the kind of current stuff that they've been doing with JJK and Chainsaw Man has all been in preparation for them to bring in Demon Slayer. And once Demon Slayer is in there, I don't think they're going to be bringing back Chainsaw Man anytime soon. Unless they wanted to do something more funny, and maybe Demon Slayer has a permanent fixture in the park. If only because the Kung Fu Panda ride has been there for a very long time. I don't know, kids would probably like Demon Slayer as much as they like Kung Fu Panda. I don't know about that, but either way, it is a really fun experience. I enjoyed it more than the JJK one. JJK one's a really fun, like, a lot of stuff is kind of happening. This one actually fits super well into Horror Nights, and I liked how they played with that, because typically that theater that they use, because it is a lot of Kung Fu Panda, it's really trying to be, it's like a 4D experience that tries to show off heart-pounding action. And in this one, I liked it. I really liked them kind of messing with the idea of trying to make it as scary as possible in an extremely dark room, which was cool. Plus, I really liked all the setup with Smiley. I thought Smiley was a really fun character. I liked the little setup that they had with all the theater stuff. I liked the way it began with them kind of sitting down, getting ready to watch the new Smiley movie, and then the zombies interrupt the Smiley movie and actually like rip through it, and before they start attacking people, actually like legitimately killing people in the theater. You don't see it, but you do see a lot of blood pop up and everything pop up. So I think it was a pretty good experience and ride. I was happy to see it at Horror Nights. I was happy to see it there. I think it fit in really well. The only thing that I think was a big bummer was that there was not any of the merch that was there in Japan, because goddamn, Japan got so many cool stuff. They had a little tiny popcorn bucket with Pochita in it. They had like a cup. They had ears where you could put Pochita on your head. They had like full on a t-shirt. They had a keychain, a lanyard. They had 2 t-shirts. They had multiple lanyards, little mascot keychains as well. Like, a lot of things represented. They had fucking ballpoint pens. I would have bought a ballpoint pen. They had at least 3 different variations of Pochita in different plush things, which all would have been cool to have on our side, but obviously they didn't know how well Chainsaw Man would likely have been done. Which that probably they don't know how much it would be. I don't know. I don't know. But it was fun to see, and it was nice to see Chainsaw Man in the theater, and I can't wait to eventually go and see Chainsaw Man, the actual movie, in theaters, but that will be after Halloween. Otherwise, I would have done it, but because of how busy I am, I didn't have the time for it. But anyway, that is Shonen Archive Gaiden. If you want to know, if you want to know how else I've experienced Horror Nights, it was a lot of fun. I went on a really good basis. It was Five Nights at Freddy's, Fallout, and The Wyatts, which was really awesome. I had a really good time. Super fucking tired, which you can probably still hear in my voice how tired I am. The other video that went up today, you could also hear how tired I am. But to be fair, it is also pretty late at night when I'm recording this. But either way, it was a fun time seeing it. I'm glad that I didn't have to go all the way to Japan to go watch it during their version of Halloween Horror Nights. I wonder actually, what do they currently have in the Japanese version of Halloween Horror Nights? They have Chucky's Carnival of Chaos, Biohazard Night of Heroes, Kate Presents The Witch of Number 18, Factory of Fear Zombie Tour of Despair, Random Roaming Street Zombies, some shows that include Zombies Da Dance, Smiley's Happy Halloween Greeting. Wait, is this actually? Oh, okay, this is the... Okay, yeah. Oh, I see. It's an animated character. Is this actually real? It would be crazy if it turns out the Smiley was actually real. Yeah, it seems like in Japan they actually do have the Smiley thing. Smiley's Happy Halloween. It was a show featured during the Halloween Horror Nights Japan. It was located near Cinema 4D. Every year he directs and stars in a horror movie, and his life's purpose is to scare all the guests who watch it. He appears in a different form for each movie, but his true identity is a demon born from the fear felt at Halloween Horror Nights. That Smiley face. We jump out of the attractions to make a real appearance on the streets. So they must have also... That's cool. They actually did so... That's crazy. And then, yeah, there's the Chainsaw Man, the Chaos 4D, which is a different thing. And then they have other attractions, like they have the basic, like, go watch the Death Eaters at Hogwarts and stuff like that. But that's cool that they also got something related to Smiley. Now I feel like is a Smiley actually just what Universal Japan uses?
No, they kept him because Chainsaw Man was that popular.
Really?
That's why it came back this year for Japan.
That's crazy. They kept him around because...
He's a meet and greet character, I'm pretty sure.
He can meet him, greet him? That is cool. I did not know it was that popular over there, but that makes sense. Oh my god, you can! Ah, they have a real... Yeah, they have like a real Smiley.
You can watch the real animated show that he was going to show before, Denji and Aki
Powered.
interrupted it.
Wow, that's cool. So yeah, if you didn't hear my brother, you can actually see the show that they were interrupting in this one. Oh, that's so awesome. Now it actually does make me kind of want to go here during Japan. I didn't know that they had that. Man. Okay, that's cool. Hopefully they keep this up. It would be really funny if it turned out this random Chainsaw Man villain became an integral part of the Universal Studios Japan.
Well, the thing is, it kind of makes sense in a Chainsaw lore standpoint because Halloween Horror Nights would happen again next year.
Yeah, yeah.
So Smiley would end up coming back.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's so funny though. Like a character born straight out of it, he comes back. That's super cool though. Yeah, the original character appears in Chainsaw Man, but I'm assuming that they own the rights to Smiley.
Yeah.
And apparently they have another thing called Chainsaw Man X Hollywood Dream the Ride.
They just play Kickback on the ride.
Oh, okay. They do play Kickback here, but they wait till the show is actually over. Okay, that's cool. But anyway, that's it for today's Shonen Archive Gaiden. Join me next year when I go to Japan during... Actually, I'm not going during October. I'm going near, hopefully December. But it is cool to see Smiley here. Yeah, there's a lot of good like little posters of him up there too. It makes me wonder if they're ever going to do more with him there. It'd be actually kind of cool if they brought him back here, which would be hilarious. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. That's been Shonen Archive Gaiden. Hopefully next week we'll be back with either a video with Zen or me talking about Chainsaw Man the movie with my brother or something. One thing that changed the other. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Say goodbye, boy.
Goodbye.
Peace out.